Okay, now our next topic is Breton cycle, and in today's lecture, we are going to study the Breton cycle PV diagram, TS diagram, the analysis of Breton cycle, and numerical treatment related with our Breton cycle. Now, Breton cycle is a constant pressure cycle for a perfect gas. It is also called as Joule cycle. The heat transfer are achieved in reversible constant pressure heat exchanger. An ideal gas turbine plant would perform the process that make up a Breton cycle. Now, by viewing this diagram and PV and TA diagram, we are finding some stages in Breton cycle. Now, for process 1 to 2, that is our isentropic compression, in that air is compressed isentropically from the lower pressure P1, that is our inlet pressure for compressor, to the upper pressure P2, that is our exit pressure at compressor. The temperature rising from T1 to T2 in our isentropic compression, temperature rises from P1 to P2. See in our TS diagram, this is our T1 and this is our T2, and lower pressure is our P1 and upper pressure is our P2. And keep in mind there is no heat flow occurs. There is no heat flow occurs. Now next is our combustion, or we can call it as a combustion chamber. Heat flows into the system, increasing the volume from V2 to V3, increasing the volume from V2 to V3 and temperature from T2 to T3, while the pressure remains constant. While the pressure remains constant. This is our isobaric process. This is our isobaric process. Now see, in our heater, that is our combustion, we are going to add the heat in that, that is our combustion chamber state 2 to 3. The volume changes from 2 to 3 on x-axis. We are having volume 2 to 3, and in TS diagram temperature changes from T2 to T3, keeping pressure constant. That is our isobaric process. The heat received is nothing but MCP, specific heat at constant pressure, into delta T. Delta T nothing but T3 minus T2. T3 is the highest temperature. T3 is nothing but the highest temperature in our Breton cycle. Now, next compartment, next component is after the combustion chamber is our turbine. Now, turbine comes in between stage 3 to stage 4. Okay, now in that air is expanded isentropically. Again, this is our isentropic expansion. In compressor, isentropic compression, state 1 to 2, and in turbine, isentropic expansion. Okay, in that pressure from P2 to P1, pressure from P2 to P1, and temperature falling from T3 to T4. Again, isentropic expansion, no heat flow occurs. No heat flow occurs. Now, next is our cooler. We can call it as a cooler. Heat is rejected from the system as the volume decreases from V4 to V1. In PV diagram, volume decreases from V4 to V1, and corresponding temperature is from T4 to T1, while the pressure remains constant corresponding with our inlet pressure of compressor, that is P1, and heat rejected is equal to MCP delta T T4 minus T1. Okay, all we get the concept. Now here we are having two heat exchanger, heater heat exchanger number 1 and cooler our heat exchanger number 2, and C stands for compressor and T stands for turbine. Okay, in Breton cycle we are having three thermodynamic processes, 1 to 2 isentropic compression, 2 to 3 isobaric process, pressure remain constant, and 3 to 4, that is our isentropic expansion, PV raised to gamma is equal to C. This is nothing but our total Breton cycle. We can call it as a Joule cycle also. Now, next slide is our formulas related with our Breton cycle. Now, efficiency of our Breton cycle is equal to work done divided by heat received. Now we know that work done is equal to Q1 minus Q2. Q1 is nothing but heat received per cycle. Heat received per cycle in our combustion chamber, and heat rejected is our Q2 per cycle is nothing but our cooler divided by heat received. Now heat received mcp delta T minus mcp delta T for cooler and divided by heat received mcp delta T. And you know that what is the delta T for our heat exchanger and cooler. That's a 1 minus T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T1 is our efficiency. Now for isentropic compression and expansion, okay, T2 upon T1 is equal to P2 upon P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Now P2 upon P1 is nothing but our pressure ratio, and you know the definition of pressure ratio, that is the maximum pressure divided by minimum pressure, and maximum pressure is available at the end of our compressor and minimum pressure is available at the inlet of our compressor. Okay, that's why P2 upon P1 is our pressure ratio. From that equation, from that formula, you get the equation T2 is equal to T1 into Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Similarly, for our turbine related, T3 upon T4 is equal to P2 upon P1 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to gamma. Now we know that P2 is nothing but equal to your P3 because for heat exchanger, our pressure remains constant. That is our isobaric process. That's why P2 upon P1 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T3 upon T4. From that, you get equation T3 is equal to T4 Rp raised to gamma minus 1. Now, putting that value in our efficiency of air standard, you get the formulas for efficiency 1 minus 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Again, the work ratio is nothing but turbine work minus compressor work divided by turbine work. Again, turbine work mcp T3 minus T4 minus mcp T2 minus T1 delta T divided by mcp T3 minus T4 is equal to 1 minus T2 upon T1 divided by T3 minus T4. Okay, from that you get the equation 1 minus T1 upon T3 Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. All of you please note down these formulas one by one. We can wait for 2 minutes. Okay, starting from this, you can note down this. All of you please. Now, next term is our method for improvement of thermal efficiency of open cycle gas turbine. The following methods are employed to increase the specific output and thermal efficiency of our power plant. Now, in that first one is our intercooling, second one is our reheating, and third one is our regeneration. Now, we are going for first one, intercooling. This is the diagram for turbine plant with intercooling. and it defines the states for 1 to 2 dash. What we're having, low pressure compression. 2 dash to 3 we're having intercooling. 3 dash to 4 we're having high pressure compression. 4 dash to 5 we're having combustion chamber, combustor for heating purpose, and 5 dash to 6 we're having turbine for expansion. Now for intercooling, a compressor in a gas turbine cycle utilize the major percentage of power developed by the gas turbine. The work required by the compressor can be reduced by compressing the air in two stages and incorporating an intercooler in between those two compressors. You can easily view in that in between LP compressor and HP compressor, you are having an intercooler. Okay, and corresponding TH diagram in our next slide, you can easily see that. Now see, all of you, 1 dash to 2 dash, we are having low pressure compression, and 2 dash to 3 and 3 to 4 dash and 4 to L dash, we are having the effect of intercooling. Okay, but if we are not having intercooler, that time our process goes from state 1 to directly L dash. Okay, now this is the effect of our intercooling. That's why we are notifying that work input with intercooling is nothing but Cp delta T. Now that Cp delta T, first one, this compartment, it's for T dash T2 dash minus T1 for low pressure, and plus Cp in bracket T4 dash minus T3 is for our high pressure compressor. Now this work input is with intercooling. If there is no intercooling, that time our work input becomes Cp directly 1 to L, means TL dash minus T1. Okay, that is our work input. Now we're moving for heat supply. There is also change in the heat supply. Okay, with intercooling. Now see, when we're having intercooler, that time our combustion process starts from 4 dash, 4 dash and complete with 5. Okay, that time we're having Cp T5 minus T4 dash. But if we're not having intercooler, that time our Cp T5 to L dash. Okay, that much change is there for your intercooling. Okay, if you are having intercooler or if you are not having intercooler with you. Okay, now we can come to the conclusion that heat supply when intercooling is used is greater than with no intercooling. Are you getting concept? Heat supply when intercooling is used is greater than with no intercooling. Okay. Now that's why we get the maximum efficiency. Now next term. Okay. All of you note down this intercooler. All process. All of you please note down. Okay. We are moving towards reheater. Okay. Now in reheater, the output of gas turbine can be improved by expanding the gases in two stages with reheater between these two turbines. Okay, now the diagram is in front of you. Okay, now you can see that in between high pressure turbine and low pressure turbine, you are having a reheater. We can call it as a combustion chamber number 2, and combustion chamber number 1 is in between compressor and high pressure turbine. Now work developed by the high pressure turbine is utilized to run the compressor. It utilized to run the compressor, and work developed by the low pressure turbine is fully used to develop the work. Okay, now that is our reheater. Okay, now neglecting the mechanical losses, the work output of high pressure turbine must be exactly equal to the work input required for the compressor. That's why CPA is equal to T2 dash minus T1 equal to CPG in bracket T3 minus T4. Okay, here is notifying all the things. Now the work output, that is our net output of LP turbine, okay, means work developed by the low pressure turbine is nothing but our actual work done. Okay, net work output is CPG T5 minus T6, that is our low pressure turbine in between state 5 to 6. And net work output without reheating, see in TS diagram, if you are not having reheating, that time directly T4 dash to TL dash, T4 dash to TL dash. This process T4 dash, 5, 6 dash and L dash is not there when you are not having reheating. Okay, now heat supplied, we are supplying heat in between stage 2 dash to 3 and in between stage 4 dash to 5 in combustion chamber number 1 and in combustion chamber number 2. We are going to supply the heat. That's why our heat supplied formula Q1 is equal to CPG T3 minus T2 dash plus CPG T5 minus T4 dash. Okay, all of you note down all the things on your screen. Okay, now next is gas turbine with regenerator. Now the exhaust gases from the gas turbine carry a large quantity of heat with them. Since their temperature is far above the ambient temperature, their temperature is far above the inlet temperature of compressor, they can be used to heat the air coming from the compressor, thereby reducing the mass of fuel supplied in the combustion chamber. Keep in mind, these exhaust gases used to heat the air after compression, after compression. Okay, and their temperature is far above the ambient temperature, means before the compression. Okay, now 2 dash to 3 represent the heat flow into the compressed air during the passage through the heat exchanger, through the heat exchanger, and 3 to 4 represent the heat taken in from the combustion of fuel, and 0.6 represent the temperature of exhaust gases at discharge from the heat exchanger. Okay, all of you get the concept for your regeneration. Then note down this TH diagram also, formula, and draw the gas turbine with regenerator block diagram. All we see here, if we are not having a heat exchanger or a regenerator, that time our cycle becomes 1 to directly 3. See here, 1 to directly 3, 1, 3, 4, 5 and again 1. But when you are having a regenerator with you, your cycle becomes 1 to 2 dash, means your combustion starting from this 2 dash, okay, then up to 3 you are having combustion chamber, then combustion of fuel up to 4, then 4 to again 5 dash, okay, here, and then 5 dash to 1, okay, and 6 represent the exhaust temperature. 6 represent the exhaust temperature. Okay,